All right, so I want to go ahead and create this third video just to show y'all about the different areas. So I showed y'all on the chin how these keloids have been healed up. You have like a couple little bumps, but all those scars are pretty much gone. See there? Also too, showed you like a couple of spots here, how those are pretty much gone. Now, the other areas in which I have my keloids removed were my ears. Now in this area, this is a little bit different. So the skin on the ears are going to be a little bit more softer than the other areas, and it's going to be a little bit easier for these particular areas to grow back. So when I had earrings in, and then I didn't like fully clean them like I should have, and I didn't really take care of the process as well as I should have, keloids started to form in both of these areas. So this is why when people ask me in particular if I plan to do like piercings or if I plan to do like tattoos, well, I can kind of be like at a standstill because it can be hard to understand how my body's going to react. Now I always say too that I'm not saying I won't entertain piercings anymore. I obviously would have to be able to take care of them properly, but it just shows you like how easily that my body can keloid. So we go here first on the left side here, you can see where I had a keloid removed, and now that's a scar. So you can also probably see too where that hole is there. That's initially where the piercing was. Now, again, for this particular keloid, I've actually had it removed once and then shaved down. So technically you can say I had it removed twice. So when I had that removed, it didn't take too long to get it cut off. But the process for it, I took care of it. I was able to put Vaseline on it and kind of do the process in which they told me that I needed to kind of initiate to get it to stay down. But this one grew back pretty fast. Now, I will say as far as something that I could have done better with that is put more pressure on it. So something that that's recommended now is to put like pressure earrings. The reason being for any of these spots, you want to keep down the pressure because that's going to make it harder for it to grow back. And so how your body works can be different depending on each and every area. For instance, on my left ear with the keloid, it takes a lot for, it doesn't take a lot for it to grow, and this can kind of grow at more of a rapid pace than my right one. Because for my right one, as you see, there's a scar there, but it hasn't thickened at all. And so even though I've had this one cut off and shaved down, once I had this one cut off, I was done with that. And what's even more crazy is this keloid here was even bigger than this one had ever got. And so it just shows you again how your body works and just how it doesn't matter, what particular area is, just keloids work in a different form of ways. And so, when you have that scar tissue, again, it's going to heal in the way that it does. So it's how your body reacts to scarring, and also is how your body reacts to healing. And so these are the two mainly that I've been focusing on. I previously went back and got my injections that help to keep both of these down. And again, the injections are going to be something that you want to continuously try to do in order to keep that swelling down. Again, if you don't have anything reacting to these locations and kind of forcing it to change the way in which it grows, the way that it heals, it's just going to do its own thing. It's going to be a lot harder for you to be able to keep that down. So hopefully that makes sense. Again, feel free to ask any questions, or I don't mind going back over anything, kind of re-explaining myself here, because I know this is a lot of information. Another area too that I had removed was the back of my neck. So I'm hoping that you can see that here. On the back of my neck, this is an area in which I had to get fully cut off. Now, with this particular area, there is scarring, but it is healing up pretty well. Now, this is an area too in which I had to go ahead and get injections on continuously because this is an area that can thicken because your hair is always growing. So for instance, when you have ingrown hairs or a place where hair grows, it's going to continue to grow from different areas. And then also too, if you're brushing, you're combing down, that gives your hair another opportunity to curl up, which it wants to do to form that keloid. And depending on your type of hair, I have very coarse hair. So as far as my hair, it can get stiffened and it can be easy for it to be ingrown. So, something that I have to make sure that I do is, if I'm brushing or if I'm combing out or however, I just need to make sure that I'm watching a particular area so it doesn't try to form those keloids again. Now, another area that I had removed was my shoulder. And you're probably looking at this like, man, that's a huge scar. So it's crazy, again, how the skin works. So this particular area, the initial keloid was probably like this size. So when I actually got it removed, it actually made the scar a lot bigger. Now what I can say is, since I had this removed, it hasn't grown at all. But sometimes, depending on the particular area that you are getting a keloid cut off, you just have to evaluate if it makes sense or if it doesn't. I don't think that this one really made sense. It's honestly not something that I had to get removed because I really wasn't too pressed about my shoulder. I'm like, if I'm going ahead and get all these other areas removed, why not go ahead and get this one removed? But again, my body just reacted to it differently, and it just started to bump up. Now, for me, I don't even mind this particular area at all. You know, it makes me seem like I got a battle wound. Like it's a reason why that's there. So I don't really, there's no insecurities and nothing with that. Like it's a part of my body. But these are the particular areas in which I've had all my keloids removed. I think I have, like, as you can see here on my shoulder. So the area on the left side was probably like three or four times bigger than this one. So you're probably like, man, again, why'd you get it removed? But I'm like, why not? Just check it out and see how it goes. I'm trying to figure out if I have any other areas I haven't told y'all about. No, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think that's all the areas. So that's a lot of areas to get removed. And so this has been a continuous trial and error. I've had to go to different dermatologists, like I said, different surgeons, and really try to figure out what the best process is going to be for me. And again, when you go into these places, everybody's situation is different. So they have some people that have had way bigger keloids than I've had. Some people have had to come in multiple times to get it removed. Some people in my family have had creams that have worked for them that hasn't worked for me. Everybody's process is different. You have to understand how your body reacts, but you also have to understand as well too that you may not get the results that you need just off the first straw. And so you just have to really evaluate for yourself and give it time just to see how your body reacts to it. I always say that the first step is to start off with injections, just to see how that's going to be able to get it to go down, to see if it's doing anything. You have to continuously get those as well too. Now at first, when I was getting my injections back in Kentucky, there was a couple of different dermatologists that I went to, and at first I really wasn't going too heavy with it, and I was like, man, this isn't really working. But my dad always, and my mom, they're like, you need to like continuously do it to make sure to see if it's going to give you the results. You can't just go, half with it and just expect it to work. And so after going to like another place, I did continuously do it, but at that point the keloids had just been so big that I don't think that the method that this dermatologist in particular had was even going to work, and they weren't confident in it as well. But it was crazy because as soon as I got to New York, whenever I got my keloids removed again in one of the offices, when they had used the injection fluid that they did after I had the keloid done, like I said, the spots in which I had them removed, they stayed down for a while. I mean, even when they started to grow slightly, as soon as they put the injection fluid back in there, I didn't have any issues. And again, when I went like 6 months without getting injections, this is probably like the most that it ever came back. I haven't had any issues with it like that. And so again, it just depends on what each dermatologist and doctor is using. And some of them might be a little bit more educated or have, stronger steroids or fluids in which they can use to be able to get it to go down. You also have where different doctors have worked in different areas. And in a place like New York, it's probably where it's more of a melting pot. So they're seeing different cultures and different ethnicities and understanding how people operate. So I'm going to save that for the next video, kind of telling you all more like in depth about me being in the office, what I've kind of had to go through, understanding about insurance and how that works, and then kind of taking you through the steps of them going away, coming back, getting removed, just so you can understand more about that process. So more videos coming. I gave y'all 3 in one day, and hopefully this is a really, really good start for y'all to get the information about the keloids. So peace.